Hi, everybody. I am live. I just got off another hangout and we had a really interesting hangout. No, I thought like if people were around, maybe some people would like to hop on the stream. So I looked, I didn't see anybody from like our, oops. Um, yeah, if anybody from our little like circle. It didn't seem like anybody was streaming, and it's prime time for streaming, so I thought maybe some people would like to join, and I guess maybe if nobody wants to join, then I'll probably just delete it and like not do anything. But I thought I would go ahead and put up a stream and see if anybody wanted to join the stream. Like Ryu, did you want to join the stream? Actually, yeah, this is interesting. I'll put up the link. And maybe if anybody like is out of line though. If anybody comes in and you're out of line, I'll just like kick you or whatever. But like John Smith, would you like to join the stream? I think you're the person I asked you before and you were like no. And Ryu doesn't. I've never don't really know how it works. Click the link that I just posted and you'll be in. It'll probably come in with your camera on, but you can turn it off before you click join. It's like there's like 2 or 3 steps, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just like they want you to like agree to like one of those, you know and actually I think you can bypass that. And then also and then so there's that. There's like click the tick box, click Reddit or whatever it is, and then the next screen is going to give you join, and then you'll join. Not high. Well, this isn't JF's channel, so you don't need to be high IQ to join my streams. I might make that joke about because that's like JF's thing. Like he says everybody's low IQ. Like Andy Worski, you are low IQ. Yes, I live in. Well, I'm not from New York City. I live in New York City. So Mm. Anybody want to join? It says 3 viewers, so I guess it's just Ryu, John Smith, and myself. I actually have the IQ of a genius. Cool, but from New York. Well, what do you mean? Like, I live in New York City, and I'm from New York State, but not New York City. Like, I grew up in another part of New York State. Where are you from, John Smith? Anyone? Anyone? All right. So this was like a semi-open stream, and so wait to see if anyone's oh, okay, because I was like, maybe I shouldn't, maybe. Let me I'm actually gonna go in the kitchen. I'll be back very quickly. All right, I am back. Hear that ice banging around in my water bottle? Such a great sound in this heat. It's not even that hot, but you know, it's been like comfortable, and today it's like not like hot, but like warmish, not quite comfortable. Actually, I'll look on my phone and see what it says the temperature is. $79 degrees. So it's probably in the 80s today. How long are you planning to go? I have no idea. Well, most of the people I know are not liberal douchebags. So, and I spend most of my time online. I don't really like if you. Oh yeah, actually, Ryu, there was recently. I was debating on whether or not to do an article about it, but there was a Huffington Post article I found. Actually, I'll look it up and I'll put it in the chat. That's what we'll do. We'll talk about that article. See, there we go. Now we have a topic. Oh. Cool. Wait, not here. I don't know if you can hear that, but one of my neighbors are making noise in the hallway. Kind of loud. You might be able to hear it. Sorry about that. All right. There's the article. So I don't know if you guys want to look at the article. I opened it, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. I just pasted it from. I put it on my Discord, my private Discord. So now I just all right. $14.99. Not having to eat with gays prices. No. Space time, no. All right. So this article, I put the link in the description. It says if you really love LGBTQ people, you just can't keep eating Chick-fil-A. I posted this article on Twitter and they were like, if you have a problem with with gay hate, like you should stop getting gas. Cuz like they throw we know that things get thrown off the rooftop. Things, people, whatever. Anyway, oh, somebody joined. Like in another screen here. Gabe the Samurai, is that you? I see Gabe on the screen.
Hello.
So, I think it looks like your camera is dark. You can turn your camera off and it should show your avatar.
Yeah, I think I did, and then it decided to turn itself on a little bit.
I see it now. I see it now.
I don't mind my face being shown. It's just I am lazy, and the lamp is like 3 feet away from me, and I'm just too lazy to get up.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, I find that it actually streams better when people don't use the camera. Like that, you know how sometimes people get that wompy sound to their voice?
Yeah.
That seems to happen like it probably depends on people's computers. Like for me, when I open too much stuff, like if I try to have my graphics program, if I have my graphics program on open and I like join a stream, people start telling me we can't hear you. Or if I have both browsers open, meaning like Chrome and Firefox, people tell me they can't hear me. So I have to make sure I only have Chrome open.
Another fat guy joined the stream.
Another fat guy? Is that oh, I rate prostate. So I actually haven't reached.
I've streamed with him a few times. I'm
Oh,
completely
okay.
cool with him. I'm completely cool with him.
So
The only way I know he's fat is because he's told me. So so that it's like, you know, what are we gonna do? Get insulted by calling each other fat? I mean, I'm a fat guy. He's a fat guy. What are we gonna do? Cry about it?
right. Yeah, and I'm kind of a fat chick. Not like really fat, but definitely not skinny.
The thing is, girls can get away with being a little chubbly. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but girls can get away with it. Dudes, not so much.
I don't know if that's really true. I think it's kind of the opposite, actually.
Really, yeah, just talk to a feminist.
I mean, well, yeah, well, feminist. I mean,
Feminism, all about equality. Oh man,
yeah,
are you even there?
yeah.
Are you even there, prostate?
Yeah, prostate. You haven't been talking.
Talk, damn you!
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It sounds really, really bad though.
Check. Testing.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you not hear us?
Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you not hear us?
I can hear y'all now.
Okay.
Awesome. Your avatar just keeps getting creepier and creepier each month I see you, prostate.
How about this one?
Oh, good lord.
Is that any better?
Seizure warning.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Fractal.
Ooh.
This is what it's like to be tripping on drugs, guys.
I would know I've never done drugs in my life.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
Every time when I become like a neocon instead of like a paleocon.
I've done both your shares of drugs, so trust me.
The only drugs I do are the ones that are prescribed and mandated for me because I have super bad clinical depression and I need pills to be able to combat it. I ain't no stinking anti-vaxxer.
So you guys are both libertarian, yes or no?
I would go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please.
You first.
Oh, you're younger. Go for it, man.
Okay,
Fine.
he's like walked away. How about you take it away, Gabe?
Okay. I don't really know what I'm like. I like to consider myself a centrist. I'm like conservative, but you know, I guess I would technically be considered a libertarian. I just took two of those stupid political compass tests last night, actually, because it was late and I was bored. I was going to post them on my channel, but I decided against it. And one of them said I was an authoritarian, which I most certainly am not.
What authoritarian?
Authoritarian.
I'm apparently an authoritarian, and I think that was mostly because a lot of the questions, because I'm not too political savvy, despite being a political channel, kind of. I didn't really know the answer, what a lot of the questions were trying to say, so I put disagreed because there was not an unsure in one of the tests that I took. So that's probably why it pushed me towards the authoritarian side, even though I posted gay people should be allowed to get married. I was giving every choice that would not be authoritarian, and somehow ended up being an authoritarian. No, I'm like center right, conservative, Christian type person.
Oh yeah, so you've been specializing in the last like few weeks to a month in videos about gay pride because you've gone too far mostly, right?
Yeah,
did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, because my LGBT friends, and I very happily send them my videos as soon as I post them.
Wait, everybody, if you wanna, let's shill his channel. He is Gabe the Samurai.
Yes, tempted to change it to something else, but at this point in time, I am Gabe the Samurai. I've been doing YouTube for about 3.5 years now. I used to go under a different pseudonym, but I lost that channel due to false strikes. That channel had 500 subscribers. This channel has 447, so I've done pretty well for a mobile device channel. And mostly I just talk about what's interesting to me. I'll poke at stupidity on the political side, no matter which side it is. I actually did a video covering Fox and how they manipulated footage to make it look like footage of people praying were football players protesting, which I had massive issue with. And I just poke at stupidity. Sometimes I'll poke at irate prostate, but then I have to wash my hands afterwards.
Now, how about you, irate prostate? Did you want to talk about, where you stand politically and what your channel is? And
I would identify myself as pretty much I'm an old school libertarian. I'm not one of these wishy-washy, mushy types. And I also believe strongly that the Constitution should be followed as written and not modified any more than what it already has been. I believe. Go ahead.
So, being part of, that's one thing as I'm familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with. There's the John Birch Society, and they are staunchly advocating for the Constitution. So if you guys or anybody in the chat maybe wants to check them out, they have local meetings, which is one thing that's different from a lot of, we're used to all these YouTube channels, but they actually have local meetings. You can contact, there's a division or whatever, and you put in your zip code somewhere on the website, and you put in the zip code, and then you write to them, and then I wrote to my local representative, and then he gave me the email for the chapter guy. So the chapter is even more local. The employee that covers your district covers maybe 3 states. The guy that covers my district, he covers, I think, maybe Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York, I think. Maybe Pennsylvania too. So I met him, I think, at the first meeting that I went to. And so that's really, I think it's good, because then you can't really do much with local politics when you're dealing with YouTube channels, because you're not going to be running into people from your same area as easily.
Yeah, I kind of have the same views. I definitely have the same views on the Constitution as Prostate does.
And it looks like someone in the chat, John Smith, actually knows about John Birch. He says, look at their videos from the 50s. They knew what was coming. It's crazy. Crystal ball style. And that right there is why, you should, definitely take them seriously. They've been attacked by the left from the get-go.
Yeah, and they've got a really shitty rep in the South, because back in the day, a lot of the John Birchers from the South were Klansmen too. So yeah, they like to tie the Klan. They like to tie it to the Klan. So yeah.
Well, they're definitely not involved with that now, because when I go to my own chapter, my chapter coordinator is Asian, for one thing.
Right.
I live in New York City, so my chapter coordinator is Asian. And then they totally know that I'm Jewish and have absolutely no problem with it whatsoever.
That's actually really good, though, because to see more diversity with it, because back in the 60s, they were and it's and what sucks is anybody back then that was lumped in as being conservative kind of got painted with that broad brush. Because most of them,
the left has been up to their fuckery for a while.
Oh God, yeah, they've been in really. Did you see Razor Fist's latest video?
I did not.
Oh man, you've got to see that. It's about. It has to
Let me mod you, and you can put a link to it in the chat.
All right.
I'll wrench
I'll have
you.
to pull it up, but
I
yeah,
can't
man.
guarantee that I'll keep your wrench, but I'll wrench you for now. I have a habit of going through periodically, going nah.
Can I pimp my channel?
Nah. Here's my thing.
There. Okay, you're wrenched.
Here's my thing. I am a staunch believer in the Constitution. I think people. What I love about the far left, I always have to make that clear because a lot of people think I'm lumping everybody in the left when I'm not. The far left likes to tout the Constitution when it benefits them, but then bash the Constitution when it doesn't benefit them. I'm not like that.
Which means they aren't really constitutionalists.
Oh, they're not.
You can't do that if you're truly a constitutionalist.
I hate the term living document when they refer to that shit.
That's a neocon thing. I hate that. Yeah. The only time when I'm really like side with the neocons is with drugs.
They want to use it to legislate from the bench, as and use it to to twist it to it's like, well, now that they weren't living blah 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 and at this point in time, so we have to interpret it as this and that, and what they're doing is just they're just twisting the words, and you need to literally interpret it literally. That's my opinion, because it's like I don't if you look at it and you read the Constitution, the whole idea is to maintain people to stay free, and and in case the government gets dictatorial, to rise up and stop it. Exactly. I'm not an advocate for a revolution at all. I don't think we're at that stage ever. At any point, I don't even think we've gotten close to being at that stage. But I think we dodged a huge bullet in the last election. So
could you imagine if Hillary had won? Oh.
Well, are you seeing all the shit that's coming out now, man? Like the goddamn FBI, they were all up her ass and shit. And
I heard it even on the left stream media today.
That fucking FBI agent said, Trump will not get elected. I will see to it personally. And I'm disgusted. The FBI has, back in the day, it was used by Hoover, as a political weapon, and of course, it's being used as a political weapon now. It's terrible. That's not what it was intended to be. It was initially intended to stop, organized crime and liquor, back in the day. So it's like, I don't mean to be pontificating, but it's like that shit really is getting up my craw. I had no idea. And that's the Razor Fist link I just put in. And he talks about how Hollywood has always been communist. And they always have been, and they always will be.
I did a video called Lies, Lies, Lies. Or no, I'm sorry, Sue, Sue, Sue. I knew it was like three of the same thing. Sue, Sue, Sue. And it was originally like from the topic of the communist blacklists from Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And the way that they got out of it was they just sued and sued and sued. And so that's why I ended up deciding to name the actual video Sue, 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 because I was like, okay, this is how they got out of it. Maybe this is what we need to do.
Well, and if you watch the Razor Fist thing, he points out that, that they took McCarthy, who really, he never interviewed a person, that wasn't a member of the government. Okay. When they started interviewing citizens and leftist, Hollywood writers, actors, etc., that was Congress, and he was a senator. So, and people they conflate all this shit together, because of the way that history's been, dominated, manipulated by leftist, academia, that's why people have that idea that was a witch hunt, where it really was an honest attempt to root out Soviet control. And they never scratched the surface. I mean, because of all the way that the media painted it. And it sucks.
Yeah. We had somebody new who joined the
How's
stream.
everybody doing?
This is Matthew, apparently, who joined the stream. Matthew, do I know you? Or
Yes. Yeah, over in the chat, I'm called Nick's Radio. My real name is Matthew.
Oh, Nick's Radio. Okay,
yes, you've seen me before.
You did a reply video to one of my videos.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot that.
I was like looking in my subscription feed, and I was like, "Oh, somebody."
Is he on Red Pill? Are you in Red Pill's Discord, man? Matthew,
I don't know. I hardly ever get on Discord.
Okay,
I can't remember which one's I'm in, which
smart.
one's I'm not.
He's on my Discord, but I don't know if he's on Red Pills. Probably not.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm on your Discord. Your double secret Discord.
What's that?
I don't know if I'm on your double secret Discord.
I think you were on my Discord and then you left it.
No. Oh. Oh. Well, whatever. Send me a DM.
Okay.
And I'll pop it back in.
Yeah.
You were wondering about my whole Gay Pride Month thing.
Yes. Yeah. Why don't you talk about that?
My whole thing, and I send my videos to my LGBT friends because every LGBT person I know, from Tranime to this 55-year-old gay man that I talk to on a daily basis named Jarl Swat, he is the one who actually has the biggest beef with the LGBT. I have this big old hate boner for gay pride because it's no longer what it was originally supposed to be about. Before gay pride was supposed to simply be about, okay, we're here, we're not any different than you. We shouldn't be hated because of.
Well, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. See, one of these communists was quoted back in the 60s saying that the issue is never the issue is always the revolution. So the public thinks this is all about gay rights, and the public thinks what you're saying. But the reality is they always intended to just keep pushing the envelope with this stuff. It's a means to try to break down society. Like, gay rights isn't actually about gay rights. Gay rights is actually about breaking down society.
Yep, and the family unit. That's one of the cornerstones of the. Actually, it's a four-step Soviet plan that Yuri Bezmenov, man, if you can just put his name in YouTube.
I think a lot of people have seen, because people link that Yuri Bezmenov, the 20 or 30-minute video, right?
No, he's got like where he breaks down. There's like a 2-hour-long thing where he breaks it down into
There's
detail.
one that I know that there's one that like has been posted several times, and I open it and it's like it's longer than I want to watch, so it may be 2 hours. But I knew that it was at least like 20 minutes or something, because like 5 minutes I'll sit and watch it, but like
a lot of my information that I get is I try to think as logically as humanly possible, but I also, like I said, I talked to a gay guy who has been through, the actual oppression of gay people, like the actual, beating up and abusing of gay people simply for being gay. I get a lot of my information and advice from him, and he's had it with the rainbow community. He has no interest in going back to them. He has defended me multiple times, because a lot of times people, when they're losing an argument about a certain thing like non-binary or something like that, they'll look at my bio, see that I'm a Christian, and just automatically call me homophobic simply because I'm a Christian. No other reason because of that. It's because they're losing an argument. And that's just stupid.
Yep.
Well, the
Bullshit.
left told them that all Christians are homophobic, so.
Hold on, I gotta mute myself.
Doggo.
It's my dog.
Thanks, John Smith.
Yeah, so yeah, if you have like a lot of noise in the background, you know, and you're not talking, just go ahead and mute yourself. We have 4 people on the stream, so there should always be like somebody who can carry things. Why don't we let Nick's Radio, since he just joined, I had asked the other 2, like, you can, I also just modded you in the chat, so you can link your channel and, you know, talk about your channel and talk about where you would say you stand politically.
Well, your question before actually was whether or not they're libertarian, and I suppose I qualify for that. I don't really consider myself liberal or conservative, though. I'm not really a moderate, because I get pretty passionate about things.
Calling the left liberal is like such a misnomer. I did a video about that. Like, stop calling them liberals. Like, a lot of times I'll see these, like, I think a lot of the smaller, like, the YouTube channels, they are more careful like me. But when you watch, like when I watched Liz Wheeler, she's always like, liberals this, liberal. And I'm like pulling my hair out going, oh my God, Liz, stop calling them liberals. They're not freaking liberal. But, like, you know, you get, like, the bigger name people who have a larger following. They are the ones who keep calling them liberals. And a lot of the memes call them liberals. And, you know, I wish people would stop. I would like, you know, anybody who agrees with me, like, try to, like, spread this in comments. Hopefully, eventually it'll get to these big name people and maybe they'll stop doing it.
Right. And use the term, I use the term regressive.
Yeah, leftist or commies, you know. I used to say leftist.
What they fucking are.
Yeah.
Commies.
Yeah.
You know, when you get down to it, that's what they want. You know, the government just to wipe my ass. All, you know.
Yeah.
Feed me from the tit and then wipe my ass, you know, when I die.
Well, a lot of people don't really and truly understand the difference between right and left. Like, I mean, I was always a conservative, but, like, until about a year ago, it was more of like a purple-pilled conservative. Like, I wasn't really on top of stuff. You know, if you would have asked me where I stood on immigration, I would have given you, you know, a right-wing stance. If you would have asked me where I stood on a lot of things, I would have given you a right-wing stance. But, you know, I couldn't have, like, explained, like, a lot of this stuff, like how like to be on the left means to be for big government. And I don't know if you saw it, my last live stream was a few minutes before I opened this one, and it ended up a little awkward. I got the name of somebody who was supposedly doing like pro-Israel activism and journalism, but I don't know, I didn't really feel like she was that pro-Israel, but there were some other things that came up in the conversation, and like even somebody said in the comments on the side, they were like, awkward. Like, yeah, really. it was kind of awkward. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll leave it up, but like I added a note to it, like the views of the interviewee do not necessarily reflect the views of the interviewer. And I forget why I brought it up, but something you were saying like made me think of that. Oh yeah, so you know, she was like, it was pretty obvious that she was kind of from like a left-wing stance as I was speaking to her, and I didn't expect that. Like, I wouldn't normally, I wasn't trying to like have a contentious interview. I mean, if I expected someone to be like not on the same side as me, I would set it up as like a blood sports with like a moderator and have it like on another channel, or have like, you know, or I would host it and I would have somebody else go against them. I didn't expect her to be like from that different of a standpoint, because like I'm pro-Israel and stuff, but she was like, one of the first things that I didn't agree with was she started saying like, yeah, so she said, David Horowitz called a professor, like a terrorist supporter. And she says, so I talked to the professor and he said he wasn't. So, okay. And I'm just thinking like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I can't. And I got this person's name from somebody like that I knew that I thought I could semi-trust. And I was just like, holy cow. Okay, let's just get through the interview. You know?
The nice thing about me is I just don't give a crap about most things. So I won't ever turn things into an awkward thing unless it's on purpose. Like I'm talking about something stupid like video games and stuff or something, and I make an awkward comment. But other than that, I'm not this secret progressive individual hell-bent on ruining your channel. I just don't give a damn.
Oh, yeah, I know why I had brought it up, because, like, at one point, she tried to say that she was referring to the alt-right as part of the right, and I was like, well, no, they're really not. I mean, they call themselves the alt-right, and they vote on the right, like, they vote like Republican generally, but they're not properly on the right, and they'll argue. But she was arguing the same thing, and I'm like, no, because the left is big government and the right is small government. I'm like, the people who are on the alt-right pretty much want big government. They just want different things from people we consider like the regular left. And she actually like was like not believing me. So no, the alt-right, this, like, and I'm thinking like, I go up against the alt-right all the time. I'm part of what they call the gevalt right, which is like Jews that get on live streams with people who are alt-right and have conversations and debates. And I mean, like, they get really feisty and heated, and you know, we scream and yell at each other, and they're semi blood sportish. And so there's a handful of channels that are in this kind of like, we joke around the gevalt right. Because gevalt, like, oi, gevalt, like, that's like a Jewish expression. And so I, like, interact with these people all the time. So I'm very much aware of, like, what the alt-right wants.
Yeah.
And who they are. Like, you know, I'm not just reading it in a newspaper. Like, I'm on streams with them. And some of the stuff that I agree with, and some of the areas where they're like really authoritarian, I can kind of like, I can understand where they're coming from, because the issue is they look at society has been torn apart, and it's like, well, how could we have kept it from being torn apart? So to that is the population should have been more on its toes. You know, I mean, you have people who are basically like conservative Republican type people. As the left has been tearing down our country, most of these people have just been going, our ideas are better, we don't need to worry about it, it'll work itself out. And that's kind of where I think we've gone wrong. Anyway, you guys could comment on what I just said.
All I know is from a personal standpoint, I've actually talked to somebody who, very nice individual, but I found out recently he was semi on the alt-right. He's like, he doesn't believe in like the whole Jewish state, anti-Semitism portion of what the alt-right believes. He's just kind of there. He's their little token. I'm not exactly sure what exactly he believes, but he says he's on the alt-right, kind of. But for the most part, I just know that most people in the alt-right are not necessarily good people. And that's about my extent. Like I said, even though I'm a political channel, I don't know much about politics.
Well, with the alt-right, it's kind of hard to tell anymore who is and who isn't, because so many people get called alt-right that are not. and people who probably are claim that they are not.
That's exactly the truth there, man.
Yeah,
right.
I have a hard time keeping track of what the alt-right is supposed to be.
I mean,
it's a camouflaged movement.
I only consider people alt-right if they self-identify, or if they're involved in like Discord servers that most of the people on there are going to self-identify. So, or if they're all over channels that most of the people on them are self-identify. The only thing is, like, I know there are exceptions because I'm on a lot of channels and a few Discord servers that are self-identified as alt-right, but you'll find that I don't really agree with a lot of the things that the alt-right wants. Like, on the one hand, I understand their frustration with society having gone wrong, but I don't think that an authoritarian reaction is the right reaction. I think the proper reaction is to get people to understand, like, you can't sit there and hope that this is going to work itself out. You have to, like I just said, you know, how I feel like people just said, you know, oh, well, I mean, even now, like, if you talk to, like, your purple-pilled conservatives, a lot of them are like, oh, it's hopeless, or it'll work itself out, or there's not enough people. Like, I'm not big, and I can't do anything. Like, it, you know, like, if every single person who was a conservative, instead of sitting there and, like, whiny, pessimistic type reaction, if every one of them, like, basically, like, talked to people they knew and just tried to, like, light a fire under their friends' asses, and, like, lit a fire under their own ass, and just, like, started, like, posting stuff and talking to people and having conversations and, you know, standing up for their own values instead of caving the minute a leftist, you know, like, threatens them. If half of the conservatives did that, we could totally take this country back. You know, the things that need to be done is, like, pressuring politicians, talking to people around you to try to wake them up. These are things that, like, people who don't have, like, YouTube channels can do. Like, anybody can, you know, talk to a few people they know, or, like, post stuff online. And one of the reasons why, like, it's, you know, I know, like, the alt-right is like, oh, our memes save the world and this and that. I mean, that's a little retarded, but at the same time, just having your ideas online and sharing them and having them there, even if you don't have a huge following, it helps. Because if you ever listen to the left, what do they say? They're always like, everybody thinks like us. Everybody thinks like us.
No.
And this is why I strongly recommend to right-wingers, like, just have your ideas online. If you don't want to do it under your real name, because a lot of people are like, well, my family, but this is the problem. Like, people are afraid to stand up to their own family members. The left is not. Left-wing people will, like, they don't care if their family members disown them. Like, if they hate Trump and their family members like Trump, they don't care. They don't care if their family members will potentially disown them. They'll disown
the kind
their
of person
own
you're
family.
Talking about will freak out in the middle of a Walmart, let alone at a family dinner.
Exactly.
Here's what I love.
And this is actually how they advise them to do. They advise them to, like, basically start a big stink at Thanksgiving dinner.
Here's what I love about the left, honestly. And again, I'm talking about radical, the far left. I have plenty of left-leaning friends. But here's what I love about the left. If I get into an argument with them about something, like, because I always go after, like, the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that I'm actually knowledgeable in, like race and gender and stuff like that. Not the deep political issues, but the really low-hanging issues that really don't matter in the slightest in the long run. If I say that I'm black, because I'm a mulatto, like I told you in our DMs, I'm a mulatto. I'm half black, half white. But I always usually say that I'm black because people will take that more seriously than if I just said
that's
I'm half
considered black. That mulatto is considered a racist term now.
I was about to ask. I was kind of like, can we say that out loud?
I just don't. You know what? I used to call myself an Oreo all the time, and then after a while, I found out that Oreo was even a racist term. I'm like, I just don't care anymore.
Right.
Everything's gonna be. It's gonna be racist just to call yourself black. So I just don't give a care anymore. I don't use pejoratives on purpose. And if somebody gets offended by me saying mulatto or anything like that, then whatever. I can tell the difference between somebody who's calling me that as an expletive and somebody who's just using it as a term. Because and when she explained to me what mulatto was, I didn't think she was being racist at all, because I just don't think like that. I don't think that the way that my brain works is just because somebody uses the N-word doesn't make them automatically racist. Do I like the N-word? No. Do I think people should stop saying it? Yes. But just because you say the N-word does not make you automatically racist.
Gotcha.
That's my thought process.
Well, I appreciate your stance, man. That's you have to reach that point when get to a certain point, I think, in your entire life, if you're gonna go out there and just, especially in the internet world, it's like you have to have that kind of attitude to make it, or else you're gonna end up mired like like a one-armed man in a fucking rowboat, just going in circles, trying to get out of these stupid little traps people try to set for you, with this semantic bullshit that they just throw out. It's like, well, words have weight, words have power. I was told that sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And
I hate Jews. I hate Jews so much that I'm on a Jewish channel. Just horrible, horrible people.
Well, they can get you for anything. I mean, you were talking about a one-armed man or a rowboat. That makes you ableist anymore.
Of course. That's right. I forgot.
Well, the only time I've ever gotten I've gotten offended a few times online with people calling me the N-word, but then I just let it roll off my back. The only time I ever got offended by somebody saying the N-word to me in person was this 15-year-old. Yes, it was a 15-year-old black girl at work said it, dropped that word, and that was not acceptable. It was a family environment. There were kids around. You should not be saying that word in that capacity. So I reported her. She's apparently she had several reports about her being inappropriate like that. But in settings like that, when it's, a work environment or you're just around me in general, I'll be like, hey, please don't say that in front of me. But overall, if you're singing a rap song or something like that, I ain't going to automatically assume you're racist. You're repeating the words to a dang song.
Well, yeah, we were talking about mulatto being outlawed just a moment ago. Now I can't sing along to "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's fucking Nirvana lyric.
Now I can't have a mulatto. Now, I thought mulatto was actually a type of food or coffee.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Whatever. I've just learned. I've learned not to really give a crap. Every little thing that we say is going to end up being racist in some way, shape, or form. That it's no longer worth getting offended by. It's just not. Now, that's not to say that I'm not offended by the N-word. I am. But if in the online climate, because I treat the online world differently than I treat the real world. In the online world, if I got offended by every time somebody called me the N-word, I would be going insane. That's how I lived my life the first year I was on YouTube, because I came from an extremely conservative background and was not even used to half the swear words that I heard online. And now I kind of grew a thicker skin over the last 3 years. Most of the stuff that offended me when I first started YouTube, it doesn't really offend me now. You have to treat online differently than you treat the real world.
Yeah, just go on 4chan, just go on poll for a couple of days, man.
I think plenty of 4chan leaks out into Twitter, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
And is that a bad thing?
No, it's not.
Maybe we wouldn't have had Peppy the Frog if it wasn't for 4chan.
Yep.
But so Matt, you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, Nick's Radio is the name of my channel.
Is that NIX Radio?
No, NICK
apostrophe S.
Yes, Nick's
Gotcha.
Radio.
All right.
So
Yeah,
you go by Nick on your channel, but your name is Matthew.
That's right. Well, yeah, I know it confuses people. It's a reference to a book.
I gotcha.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
you
What's
have
that?
split personality. You have multiple personality disorder.
But no, a lot of people only know me as Nick, and when they see my name Matthew for the first time, it confuses them.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a strange man in here. I think we should kick him off the stream.
I'll definitely
Man,
subscribe to your channel, man.
Oh,
I have not
are you talking
streamed
to
it.
me or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
I have not.
I've been subscribed to yours
I
for a while,
probably-
right?
I did not know that, man.
iRate's already,
I've commented on your
iRate's
video.
already.
You have replied to my comments, and we are really talking over game.
I think iRate's been subscribed to me for a bit now.
Yeah.
Unless you
Hey,
unsubscribe to me.
I just wanted to say hello. Analytical chick
How
said
are you?
I might stop by, so I did. So hey guys, how's it going?
That's
How you
going great. How are you?
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm okay. I couldn't help but note. I was listening to some of the stream earlier, and there was much discussion of like alt-right stuff, and I can't help but think that's kind of amusing because I count myself as being, I guess, ideologically compatible with the alt-right, and I couldn't help but find it just interesting to hear the points of view of people who were, I don't know, I guess just at a counterpoint or something. Did you guys want to, I mean, would you be interested in talking about it or asking questions or thinking about it? I don't know.
Well, don't everyone talk at once.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
well, it's like, it's like I kind of know, what's going on with everything, man. It's like I've explored, just in my own personal growth, in my political identity, especially a long time ago, man. I'm an old fucker. Yeah, I'm an old man.
Which kind of expansion of your stomach or growth as in mentally?
No, it's actually spiritually, politically, intellectually, all the above. So,
I was pulling a very, very lame.
pharmaceutically, it's like, so, yeah. And a lot of people, I think that it's like people will say Tucker Carlson's alt-right, and he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not close at all. He's, if anything, I would say he's more like your old school liberal. From back in the day when liberal, was like the Kennedy type liberal.
To a large extent, I would actually agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so when we talk of outright today, I'm thinking of more like, ethno-state, et cetera, separatism, which I think is a discussion that, needs to be had. I think it can be like used as a trigger, because there's a lot of people that really don't want to talk about stuff, and they'll try to throw things in. I'm usually wary of invitations like that because there's usually some kind of game at it's like or not game, but I guess there's an agenda. It's like I'm open to any political idea, and I'll even think about it, consider it. But when it comes down to it, nobody's going to change. Nobody. I went through my little, skinhead. All my problems are because of this person or that person.
But that makes it sound like you did change.
Yeah, but not really, because when I really looked at it and got into it, I realized that wasn't me. You see what I'm saying?
I guess.
Yeah.
Just it's an interesting idea though that
no, yeah, but I see what you're saying. What I'm trying, I guess, what I'm trying to say is that I think the examination of other identities, you know, helps you define what your identity is. You know what I'm saying? So it goes like my 20s. I thought I was dating to find out what I wanted in a woman, and then I realized, you know, in retrospect, my 20s, I dated to find out what I didn't want in a woman. And that was the lesson that I got out of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm staying. You know, that's where I'm coming from. And I know I've got these repetitive, you know, verbal, you know, okay. Laziness. So,
I've got 1,000 of those myself. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. I actually, speaking of changes of heart, I used to be Civ-Nash, and then I ended up moving over to Eth-Nash. So I also had my own change of heart, and it's a very weird thing, to be honest. Yeah.
If I could ask a question, it's a little off topic here. How do I pronounce your name?
Oh, Eke Lux. It's not.
Okay, I'd have gotten that wrong.
That's fine. I made the same mistake.
Latin?
It's Latin. It means "behold the light."
The light.
Yeah, the proper conjugation I think should be "Eke Lucem," but this was intended to be a burner account, and I just stuck with it and ended up keeping it. So
that's what Irate Prostate was, man.
Yeah,
this is a troll account. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, you're still a troll prostate. I mean, you can't really get rid of that.
Yeah.
You're just an intelligent troll.
And I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe. I'm probably being a little bit too generous with you.
You are indeed. Your generosity.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that just because it's an interesting concept, and I think I'll hop off after just a few moments. Yeah, one of the concepts that I think about a lot with regards to alt-right and alt-right thinking is demographics.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the linchpin concept, and if you can understand demographics, you can largely understand where most of them are coming from. I would say, again, I repeat, my ideological positions and worldview are compatible, though not identical, to alt-right. That's a worthy distinction to make.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do see the demographic situation as being genuinely a problem that is going to rear its head, sadly, within my lifetime. And I'm viewing the situation as something that I'm going to grow old into and have to deal with. So I'm looking forward a few decades, and that's the way that I see the situation. It's going to be a demographic issue.
Oh, it's going to be a huge difference too than what we see now. I agree.
Correct. And I'm very displeased with it, to be honest. So anyway, just it's worthy of consideration. A lot of people,
you know, there's people that are doing their own thing, man, that are like, you know, moving, you know, to the north, you know, parts of really more the North Midwest. You know, and that's something to think about. You know, there's always, you know, answers like that.
But it's going to fail. The problem is that there are policies on the part of the U.S. federal government that actively break up ethnically white homogenous communities, and that's designed on purpose. So the white flight concept, it sounds great as a temporary solution, but it is not a long-term solution. There must be a change in culture.
Yeah.
So
and I think I know where you're going to go with that, because you're going to say that culture is being socially engineered by a select group of people.
By the left.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll even go a little more, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people. This is my.
He's talking about. Yeah, we're going to the JQ. On this
my main difference with alt-right thinking is that I'm not as into the JQ. I mean, I get it. There are arguments for it. I understand it, but that's not where I'm coming from. Number one. Number two, I'm much more interested in my tribe than in other people's tribes. I mean, no offense to any other tribes or anything. It's just I don't really care. The only thing that I care about is making sure that mine survives. That's my main point. That's my main consideration. So when I think about this, while technically, yes, one could make the argument if one wanted to go directly into JQ thought patterns, but that's not. I honestly don't care. I really don't care. My real thought pattern is that we ought to have our own media system. We ought to have our own banking system. We ought to have our own everything, and just jettison any foreign influence. I have no interest in any hostilities. I just don't want to deal with it. That's the way that I look at it.
And the only way to create that kind of situation is through probably is I mean, if you're really sincerely looking at something like that, then you are looking at a violent solution.
I don't want a violent solution. That's the problem, and I feel like it's a catch-22.
Well, yeah, right. Well, see, there's the time factor that people, or I mean, it's like the clock is ticking, like what we said about the future.
Texas goes blue in 2024, which means that there's actually a timeline on this in terms of looking at it from a purely peaceful solution standpoint.
And when that happens, we'll be a socialist state within 5 years of that.
Yes, that's. I'm not going to say that it's likely, but I will absolutely say that it's possible. And this is one of the reasons why I'm very distraught about the whole situation, because I do not want to be involved in a civil war when I'm in my 50s. That sounds extraordinarily unpleasant.
Indeed.
Yeah. At any rate, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer or anything. I feel like I sort of brought the mood down. I apologize for that.
It's fine. It's, open stream. Let the topics change.
Yeah.
Go with the flow. I mean, I didn't really put a topic on it, so.
Yeah, I now actually do feel like I'm being way too much of a Debbie Downer. I want to apologize for that. I actually do have some things that I have to take care of, so I'm going to let out. Thank you for having me on the stream. Sorry for being a negative Nancy. That wasn't my intention.
Plug your channel before you go.
Oh, yeah. Hello, my name is Eke Lux. I go by Eke Lux. I'm the local Eke Lux. And I do streams at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I talk about just general topics. I like to play music, and right now I'm doing a series on the Red Pill experience, and the concept is to understand how people change their minds and why. That's a long
okay. Well, that makes perfect sense as to why you would want to jump in.
Yeah, he's actually part of the gevalt right, where he goes head-to-head with the alt-right, like on his streams and stuff.
Yeah, It's really weird because I feel like there's a lot of overlaps between myself and a lot of other groups, and so I find it difficult to clearly define where I reside, where I rest, where I lay. I kind of feel like a normie infiltrator, like just some dork that wandered into the party.
Oh, that is awesome, normie infiltrator. Can I use that?
Yeah, go for it. I don't care.
Oh, excellent.
See, here's the deal. When it comes to conservative versus the regressives, is that they're willing to extend their platform out to other fringe people to increase their voting power, right? Whereas you don't see that when it comes to the conservative mindset. And that's the difference.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of the people that come onto my stream, they're actually hard alt-righters that are into JQ and everything, and they've been very surprisingly supporting and kind with me. I don't live the lifestyle in the least. I mean, you'd be like, oh my god, this guy's the posiest motherfucker ever. But it's just the way that it goes, Anyway. I do actually have to get going. I have some things that I absolutely have to take care of. So thank you very much for letting me pop by. Sorry for dragging the mood down. I swear.
I'm in a great mood.
What's that?
I'm in one of those moods that can't be brought down by anything at this point in time because
That's great. That's great.
what's the point?
No, I like it.
I don't even understand half the things y'all are talking about anyway.
It's okay, Gabe. As far as I'm concerned, right on. High five to Gabe. So there we are.
Good lord.
All right, guys.
Nice to meet you, AK.
All right, cheers.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, no, nice to meet you guys. Cheers.
God bless. I am seriously when I say that I'm not very well versed politically, I mean it. I try to like educate myself enough to follow what I believe is right politically, but other than that, I don't really dive too deep into politics. That's why I like to go after feminism because it's just enough political to where it's my speed and I can poke fun at idiots.
To each his own.
I like poking fun at idiots. It's fun. I'm an idiot myself, but I'm nowhere near as idiotic as these people who think that non-binary is an actual thing.
Yeah. Well, you know, this friend of mine did a meme on Twitter the other day. Well, no, it was a Reddit board, right? And he had screen capped it, and it said it's LGBTQ. You know, the subreddit is r LGBTQ, and he says, so if the B stands for bi, and he's just asking this question, doesn't that mean there's two genders? and then the next thing it says, you've been ejected from this community.
Well, here's the thing. I always purposely try to find people who are LGBT to converse with, to be friends. They already know my views on homosexuality. They already know that. I'm very not a jerk. Everybody has the right to make their own decisions in life. I'm not here to stop them. So I purposely look for LGBT people to converse with because that way, if people say, well, you're transphobic, I'm like, I tagged a trans person in this chat like 5 seconds ago. You can't call me trans person here. I still remember when Danica Lee and I were in an argument with Music Man Mike. He called me transphobic for using the word tranny, and then he blocked me. And then Danica Lee, who's transgender, also used the word tranny, and he called her transphobe and blocked her.
Well, do you know that Blair White has gotten put in Facebook jail for using that word, and she herself is trans?
I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can kind of...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you fucking? You're fucking kidding me. No,
she's talking about it on YouTube.
No.
Yeah.
Sarah got in trouble for the same thing, didn't she?
By the way, classify Gabe's channel as, they would usually call you like an anti-SJW YouTuber.
Yeah.
So like you're political, but you don't go like deep into like conservative.
I used to align myself with the anti-SJWs, but here's the thing: they all became one big hug box of drama and despair. So I've never really wanted to align myself with them again because
you know what's so funny is I heard
that's true.
There's a new crop of this bunch, right? And I heard them the other day talking about, are you going to go to fucking VidCon? And where they're going to meet up at VidCon and shit. And I'm like, really? You're going to go to...
You're going to go to the place that had Anita Sarkeesian, and I don't like Sargon.
Man, VidCon's what killed that shit, man.
That's right. Yeah, the skeptic community came to an end, or it started to decline after that whole VidCon incident.
Exactly, man.
That wasn't the only thing that did it, but that was where it started.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't give my money to someone like the Green Brothers.
I'm an
anti-SJW. I don't know who the Green Brothers are.
I'm an anti-SJW. What was that, Matt?
I don't know who the Green Brothers are. Was my question.
They're the ones that run.
Oh no, I do know who they are. Yeah, the guys who run VidCon. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. And
it
then,
takes me a little bit to get back up to speed.
A lot of people know who their content is because, like, they were featured on Khan Academy.
Are they Jews, by the way?
I'm
sorry.
Although
Well,
common last names often are, because like they'll come to America as like Greenberg and then they'll drop the Berg.
Greenblatt.
Like
yeah.
I have a friend who was born as Goldberg, and he was born into a Hasidic family. Hasidic or Hashivish? I forget. Like Haredi, like really strict Jewish. And he was born in America, but then he grew up in Israel, and his grandparents were still here. So like after high school, he came here, and he decided he was going what they call it off the derrick. So he like basically left the religion, and then later on he like legally changed his name. So he was Goldberg, and he dropped the Berg, and he's like his last name is Gold now.
Mm-hmm.
So
he should have changed his name to Gold Dust.
He changed his first name too to like the nickname of his name, and he went back to Israel at one point, and they tried to be like, wait, aren't you supposed to serve? Because they have like a mandatory draft for everyone. And they were telling him like, oh, aren't you supposed to like, didn't you not do your draft time? Aren't you supposed to do your draft? He's like, oh, it's not me. And he got away with it.
Dude.
I just hate the, I like my friends in the anti-SJW community, but like Irate Bear, I kind of just left that side of YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they all just became drama whores. It's drama. In fact, I got a community.
I like Bear, man. He's all right.
Most of the anti-SJWs like moved into like drama. A few of them, like Barbara for U2C, used to be like in that community, and she's actually moved to like doing like real political content.
Yeah, I love Barbara. Barbara's a sweetheart. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's got the guts to say what she's really thinking too. See,
like she's covering the Europe stuff a lot.
Yeah,
which I mean makes sense because she's originally from there, so I'm sure she still has some family there and stuff.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of fake ass bullshit that goes down in the so-called community. I just, I don't know.
Oh, you're not even allowed to call it a community,
Of course not.
Well, then that is really what killed the whole thing was they started talking about whether or not there is such a thing as the skeptic community. I'm like, damn, if the elves at the North Pole discuss whether or not there's a Santa Claus, it'll be about the same thing. Kyrgyzstan.
Well, it's like these skeptics saying to me, oh, you can't really be a skeptic because a skeptic is an atheist. I'm like, no, the word skeptic means...
Actually, yeah. Originally, though, what they call the skeptic community, it was originally the atheist community on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it really, I mean, eventually, like, people had basically covered everything. Everybody got sick of talking about
we get it, you're atheist. Okay, move the fuck on.
There's still a lot of atheist content out there. I mean,
it's weird. It's weird.
Content is already up there from, like, when they were covering it. So gradually, I guess, before I came along, but eventually, they kind of veered into like politics and a lot of anti
but still
type stuff.
But no, there's still a lot of channels that are devoted primarily or even entirely to atheism. And I find it kind of unusual, but because they always want to claim that atheism is just a lack of belief, and then they have to shout about their lack of belief constantly. Like, I'm not religious.
Proselytize it. I mean, shit, that's what it is. It's proselytization.
Somebody said in the chat, John Smith said in the chat, atheism is unstoppable, just got his channel shut down. That's really disappointing. But he was doing a lot of political content. Like, he wasn't really doing atheism anymore.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly, man. That's the,
I don't like AIU, but he shouldn't have had his channel shut down.
No, man.
Yeah. I
was
agree
a
with you on
hard.
that. I don't happen to appreciate him, but
Don't
He was a-
deplatform.
Exactly.
Deplatforming is censorship. Plain and
I
simple.
mean, yeah, exactly. Like I'm subbed to him, but like I don't watch him very often. Like there's some channels. Usually what I do is I pull up my subscriptions and then I just kind of scroll through them, and
yeah.
depending on like how long a video is or what the title is or what the thumbnail looks like, that's kind of how I decide. And a lot of times I'll end up watching a video because it's like, oh, I haven't watched anything by this person in a while. So I hope that they're not going to do this. I heard that what they were going to start doing is the subscription feed was going to be like by algorithm instead of chronological, which I hope not.
Well, yeah,
because I
and
like to skim down to like, okay, these are videos that I've already watched.
right.
So
There's the newest shit, right? Yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna start showing you what they think you want to see the most, right?
exactly,
Out of the group, and that's bull. No, it's just a way to bury content, man. It's a way to not promote.
Even if they're burying, like almost everybody that I subscribe to is political, so my subscription feed is still going to be a bunch of political channels. But I mean, for me, like I said, sometimes I will watch a channel a lot for a little while, and then I'll be sick of that channel and I won't want to watch them for a couple weeks or a few days or whatever, and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't watched this channel in a while, I want to watch it. So if they start doing algorithms by what they think you want to watch, all of those channels that I'm subscribed to but I haven't watched in a while, they're not going to show me their content.
Right.
And I want to see their content. Also, they make up a topic.
And what I think they're doing
to them for a reason.
I think they're unsubscribing people to people because they're not watching people.
Well, not just unsubscribing, but what do you call it when you hit the little bell?
Right.
Right.
Now you get three choices.
Unclicked. And I know that for a fact because some of my subscribers have told me, your videos weren't showing up in my subscriptions, and I found out, I had to re-ring the bell. It's kind of like, what the hell, man? I don't even have 200 subscribers.
No, they've changed the bell, dude, and now it's three choices. All right, you get the not at all, or occasionally, or every time they put something new out. They added the occasionally. Is that fucked up or what, man? Yeah. And I know for fucking fact, man, that this guy subbed to me, and then 2 days later they unsubbed him from me, man, and he tweeted it to me, and I CC'd it. I added fucking YouTube, and then suddenly I got 6 subs back that I had mysteriously lost. And then on Social Blade, on those days where all those losses were, they're blank. Right. Well, and if you go to my page right now, you look at these blank pages, that's stuff that I lose these invisible people. Go ahead.
Here's the thing with me. I tweeted at I think it was Carlos the other day that I was 1 subscriber away from being at 450. Now I am 4 subscribers away from being at 450. And that tweet was just a few days ago. There is no way 4 people decided to unsubscribe to me all at once. There's no way.
Exactly.
Because it's like they all decided, oh, we find Gabe to be utterly annoying. Let's just unsubscribe from him all at the same bloody time.
Exactly, and it gets harder, man. I mean, I should be over 500 at this point because I've counted, all of the subs, and then all the people that unsub the day. It's like I get 2 and lose 3, right? I get 3, I lose 5. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking ridiculous, and it's obvious. What's going on.
This is why we have to link our channel to BitChute, and we have to keep promoting BitChute because that is going to be our saving grace. Is BitChute? I've had most of my videos uploaded to BitChute. There's one that has not been uploaded to it, which I'm contacting them wondering what happened, because I don't think the video broke any laws, any rules of their program. And it's a new platform, so I understand that not everything's going to run smoothly. So I'm being very cordial with them, but I'm still wondering what the heck happened to this one video that I just uploaded but didn't get uploaded to BitChute. So trying to figure that part out. But other than that, it's been a very pleasant platform to upload to.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm joined to it too, and I'm basically waiting for it to start, accepting live feeds.
Yeah.
So, and I'm moving over to it. At some point, I'm gonna still stay here, but I do want to shift to it because my bud, he's got a video on YouTube that it's got less than 100 views, right? On BitChute, It's got like 7,000. Right. And that's not an accident.
YouTube takes away views.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
got a community guideline strike. Because
did you appeal?
I did, but
I've got a video that I've got. If you get a strike, don't do anything. Go to my channel and look at the video and follow. I got mine undone in 18 hours.
I had one and I appealed it and they overturned it.
Yep.
Well, I tried appealing it, and here's the thing. It was a rebuttal to Emma Gonzalez and her claim that she ostracized this.
Oh, yeah. I realized very quickly not to touch the Emma Gonzalez. And I see people there are certain things like I stay away from. Because I saw that people were having problems. People with no subscribers, with 20 subscribers, were having their videos taken down about Hogg or Gonzalez. So I was I'm not gonna touch that.
Here's the amazing thing. It was my most viewed video. I had 3.5 thousand views on that video and 56 likes.
I posted a video about Hogg on my PewTube, but I didn't post it here.
Oh, shit. I got to go, y'all.
Okay.
This has been great, man. And it's been nice meeting you, Nick. And Gabe, it's good to see you again, man. You sound good. You sound like your head's in a good place, man. So y'all take care, and I'll be hanging around. You know me. All right, later.
Bye. He's gone.
Man, for a fat guy, he sure is fast.
I know, right?
Good Lord. So, Matt, what is your channel about? Because I think I just subscribed to you.
I did. I got the little notification there. To be honest, you could probably describe my video the same way AC described yours, that it's anti-SJW. But to be honest, for the most part, I'm just screwing around.
Pretty much.
Right. I don't put any more effort into it than I want to. I don't worry about how long it's been since I've uploaded one.
Well, for me, it's my hobby, and it's what because I do have very bad clinical depression. And this has been one of my saving graces for my clinical depression, being able to have an outlet to just screw around and get my voice out there. And it's done wonders for me. I've met a lot of really amazing people and irate prostate, and it's just been really amazing. It's just, I like being able to talk, and I don't have a lot of friends in real life, and so to have the YouTube peoples to come to and to talk to, it's wonderful. And I'm going to be on YouTube as long as my devices hold up and as long as we have the money to keep our house and such. So that's how long I'll be on YouTube. I don't want to leave. I like it a lot. So I like to screw around a lot.
But yeah, if you're looking at my videos, some of them will make sense. Some of them will probably just have you scratching your head. Yeah. I made one that was most of the humor comes from newspaper comic strips that are over 100 years old. Most people have not heard of the Dream of the Rarebit Fiend. They wouldn't recognize a Crazy Cat character if they saw one. So I'm like, yeah, but I find it funny, so I don't give a damn.
That's all that's important. I mean, I'm the type of person who's like, somebody's got to laugh at your jokes, so it might as well be you.
Oh yeah, what was weird was a couple people told me, yeah, I really enjoyed your latest video. I'm kind of like, really? You knew what I was doing?
Yeah. But I like doing what I do, and I like it so much that I'm not the type of person. I do look at and focus on subscribers because I really want to get back to where I was before, when I lost my channel to 500 subs that I had. But still, at the same time, I like doing guest videos. I like doing videos for other people because it's enjoyable seeing what I like doing is I'll see. Okay, I'll just use this as an example. Babbling Brooke posted a new video, and then it's my avatar on her channel. I'm like, yeah, I totally just infiltrated her channel. I like exposing people to my annoying self, and hopefully people will like my stuff enough to watch my stuff. I mean, I like to think I bring some intelligence to the table, because I do try to be logical in the way that I attack things. If you watch any of my videos, yes, there's a lot of joking around in them, but I do try to be as logical as possible, especially when I'm covering a semi-serious topic such as gender or something like that, because I may not be smart, but I am logical. Just like Analytical Chick is Jewish. I'm about as logical as she is Jewish. Now, my question to you is this: Is being Jewish a race or a religion?
I mean, for me, it's a religion, but what they say is that being Jewish, it's a people.
Yes.
So, whatever that means.
Yeah. But, no, I've been enjoying Analytical Chick. She's got the same style as I do. You just shout words into a microphone and hope people like them.
I'm probably more political than you are, though, because you're more like anti-SJW, and I'm like straight politics.
Oh, if you watch, there was a stint of my channel from when I got my video taken down of Emma Gonzalez, where I mostly just posted like gaming content because I did all of Mega Man 1. I actually recorded and beat that and put it on my channel. And I did most of Mega Man 2. And I just did a lot of non-political stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of people are also gamers. So I'm not a gamer. So I'm kind of like lost.
Shame on you.
So what games do you play?
Oh, for me, it's anything platform related, and I don't have a console anymore. Oh my lord, you really are cool.
That's how much of a gamer I'm not. I've heard first person.
You're so close. Oh, it's adorable. It's adorable. But no, you said you were thinking about interviewing Hotep Jesus, or you might be interviewing him.
Yeah, I reached out to him on Twitter and he said yes, and I was like, okay, how about next Monday? And then like he didn't reply to that one, so I don't know.
I would still keep trying to contact him because a lot of times I had to retweet a tweet that I sent him before because he has over 1,000 subscribers. So
yeah, I'm sure.
Followers on Twitter. So you have to keep contacting him so he can get the message.
The first time that like I tweeted him, like he replied right away. Maybe because I sent it in like the middle of the night, so maybe that's what I should do.
And he's a really super nice dude from what I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on Luke Ford's channel, and then he was also on AG Gluck or whatever.
AG Luck.
Yeah. So I found AG from Thomas Ellington. He interviewed Thomas Ellington, and then like they tweeted it. Somebody tweeted it, and the other one retweeted it, and I saw it from there. And then I was like, oh, a small channel, like, so let me check them out. So then So then I've been subscribed to him, and we've gone back and forth. Supposedly he was going to have me on, because I said at one point I messaged him, I was like, do you want to have me on, or you can come on my channel? And he's like, oh, I'll have you on, but I still haven't made it on his channel, so.
Well, neither have I. But it's fun. Here's what's funny. I found AG through my friends. They're a very small channel, like super. They're a live streaming channel that just screws around. They're called The Breakup, and I found AG through them. But then I found out, because when I went to go subscribe to him, I found out that I must have talked to him on Twitter before, because I was already subscribed to him when I went to go subscribe to him. So it's like super nice people all around, and that's all I care to immerse myself with are nice people. I don't care what your political leanings are, as long as you're not a psychopath, then I'm cool with you. But that's basically my viewpoint. And I do some anti-SJW stuff, but sometimes I even just talk about things. I just talk about what's on my mind, because like I use YouTube as a venting place as well, because I don't get too personal with my personal life, but what I'm willing to say in a public setting, in an online setting, I will get off my chest. And a lot of times it's middle of the night, because I have sleep apnea and I can't sleep, so might as well make a YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm also like, I sleep weird hours, so sometimes I'm up in the middle of the night, and I usually watch stuff. Actually, a lot of times I'm on streams in the middle of the night too. Like, you just met Eke. He streams at like 2 a.m. my time, and then Babs and Brundlefly are also gevalt, right? And they also stream in the middle of the night-ish.
It's funny, my Alexa has gone off about my Amazon assistant has gone off 5 different times throughout this entire thing. Because I use my Kindle.
Did you see the video I did about the Alexa? Alexa, how many genders are there? Alexa, how many sexes are there?
Stop saying that. It keeps going off.
Alexa.
Alexa.
Shut up.
Alexa.
I will find where you live, and I will poke you in the head.
Well, just ask Alexa where we live.
Alexa, what is the capital of Palestine? Hey, just respond.
Sweet.
Why do you have one of those psycho?
It's attached to. I have a Kindle Fire.
What does that have to do with it?
It's attached to my Kindle. They added it.
Brother is watching you.
They added it to the Kindle Fire, so you have Cortana. You have Cortana for the Windows Phone, which not even Bill Gates uses a Windows Phone.
Alexa, are you the CIA or the NSA?
Okay, seriously, it keeps pausing the stream every time you say it.
Can't you mute it? Doesn't it have like a mute button?
Probably, but like I said, I'm too lazy to find it. Oh gosh. No, we're trying to sell our house, so I've got to clean. I've been working on getting my room straightened up and everything, and getting all the stuff that I don't need thrown out, and we're trying to sell the house so we can move. Yay. But so what's going on with your channel next?
Me?
Yes, Jew girl.
I never really know, and even if I do, like, I don't generally I mean, I've kind of pulled back from making videos, and I've been doing like live streams. I've been doing graphics for other channels as well. Like I did the banner for Luke Ford's channel. I've done like banners for like miscellaneous channels that I don't even know who the people are. So I'm on a server that's like all gamers, but it's like graphics focused, and I'm like the only one on there that's not a gamer. And so I've made graphics for a few people on there. But usually when they ask for graphics, they want like Fortnite. Everybody's into Fortnite, Minecraft, and Roblox.
I made a video expressing my distaste for Fortnite, not because of the game itself, but because of the hype of the game. It's the first game I've ever seen that has got that the hype and the news behind the game and constant exposure of the game has made me never to even want to watch a clip of the game because people overhype it way too much. Even fans of the game have told me that it's overhyped. So it's just stupid.
Yeah.
But for me, the way that I work is I subscribe to a fair number of SJWs, so that way I can see what they're saying, see what they're talking about, and then I don't give them the view time that they so desperately want. What I'll do is I will actually go ahead and download the video before watching it. And then I'll respond to it because what's the point? I don't want to give them the view time. I subscribe to you to see the topic of the video, and then I'll share the video, download the stupid thing because it's under fair use, and boom, I've got myself a video. And I think I do fairly well. I actually also I did the a friend of mine was the one who made my avatar into a ball. I actually made my avatar originally through some random avatar maker. I made my banner myself, my YouTube banner myself. I found some. I took a photo from Google Image, and I was able to find the right text and everything, and I was able to piece that together myself. I'm not an artist, but I'm able to piece certain assets together to get what I want, to make it look kind of like I know what I'm doing in terms of art. And I think it looks okay.
Yeah.
I think it fits my theme okay.
Yeah. What I pretty much do is bringing different to make one graphic.
Yeah. No, and also I'm not against any drama, but it has to be the right type of drama, like going after Christy Winters because of her constantly getting burying kicked off of either YouTube or Twitter. It has to be drama with a purpose. It can't just be, seeking out somebody and trying to ruin their life for the sake of a channel. I don't do that. I don't do that crap. But if it's somebody who's trying to make somebody's life a living hell because they're bored and they have nothing better to do, like Christy Winters, then I don't mind going after that person. I don't mind talking about that person because you're doing horrible things by targeting people, and so I'm going to speak out against that. That's how I work. But I don't look for drama just for drama's sake. I'm not a drama channel. Now, I'm confused. Why is half of your icon opaque and half of your icon not?
Mine?
Not. Yes.
It's from.
It looks cool.
Well, I appreciate that. It's from a ebook cover called Paradox Eclipse.
Oh, gotcha. So do any of y'all read manga?
No, I read a lot of comics. I don't read any manga.
Manga is just Japanese comics.
Yes, I know. I am not Japanese.
For so long. It took me when I picked up my first manga book, I was so confused because I'm so used to opening a book from
it's
left to right,
backwards.
and
I know.
then I had to flip the book over, and even though it's in English, I had to read it from right to left. I'm like, huh. And I got used to it, but it's like I'm so grateful that they had little arrows and everything to point you in the right direction of where you're supposed to read the boxes and everything, because stupid Americans wouldn't be able to understand. So what was the stream about? Like, what was your stream about, AC? With the other chick, with you?
Oh, I'm still on. Hang on. I had another browser open, so I thought I should close that because otherwise it like makes me sound all wumpy. But so she's supposedly an Israel activist, was what I thought, but if she's the kind of people that are going to be defending Israel, we're not going to do very well. Like, so her whole take on it was if she wants to know about Muslims, she's not going to like look at the Quran and what it says. She's not going to like look at the hadiths. She's not going to deal with like ex-Muslims. She's going to ask actual Muslims. So she goes to them and they tell her, you know, oh no, it's no, I'm nice. I'm not like that. Oh, this and that. So,
well, of course, if you go to an actual Muslim, see, people always like to compare Christianity and Islam together, but they're nothing alike. Of course, if you go to an ex-Muslim, they're going to lie to you and try to spin their religion.
Well, no, an ex-Muslim will actually tell you the truth, but like she's going to like actual Muslims.
Yeah, I know.
Like, she said that David Horowitz apparently called out a professor and said that they were supporting terrorism. And she said, so I went and I asked the professor and he said I wasn't. So that's the end of it. Like, really? She's like, oh, I just want to get along. And then, like, it came to immigration in the chat. And she was like, well, you know, at some point we needed to be let in. So we need to let people in because we needed to be let in. And it's like, not everybody has good intentions. And when we currently have the welfare state that we have, you know, it's like, you know what? You want to let them in? Okay, fine, let them in. Make some certain rules. No welfare when you come in. You know, like when Jews came in, they had to be sponsored. You know, make them go back to having to be sponsored. Make them have to go back to, like, you know, not, like, they can't get on welfare. You know, none of this, like, with the Muslims, like, the Somalis and stuff, they, like, give them housing and stuff. Like, our government is spending so much money on, you know, social services for these people who are not even Americans and who are against our country. Like, they're basically financing our invasion. Like, that is insane. And to compare that to, like, the Jews that were actually escaping and then came here and worked their fucking asses off. I mean, like, the Jews that came here, they got no help. They worked 2 and 3 jobs. Like, they'd get a job and then they would, like, clean houses on the side.
And they shouldn't have gotten any help. They should have been allowed refuge. In that situation, they should have been allowed to have safe haven from their situation. They should have been allowed to have sanctuary, but they shouldn't have gotten any special treatment. You come into the country, you have to abide by the rules of this country, and you have to work your butt off.
I mean, yeah, and so that's the thing is, like, you know, I mean, she's in college, like,
Hello?
I think she's, like, brainwashed. And I mean, I'm very sad to see that. 'Cause she's
Yeah,
like,
the
oh,
way
I'm
that I
all
see
about
things.
truth. And it's like, how, you know, I mean, her journalism to finding the truth was just to like, I just ask, you know, like somebody like David Horowitz says that the person is tied. And to be honest, there's 5 pillars in Islam. I think the Sunni definitely hold by it, which is 90% of them. One of those pillars is the zakat, which they'll tell you it's charity, but part of their charity is that when they give money to their mosque, the mosques turn around and give money to groups like the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE. And those groups are involved in terrorism.
Here's the difference. Because this is just a fact. Even I talk to people.
John Smith says Takia. There's actually 4 kinds of lying. There's Takia, Maruna, Tauria, and Kitman.
Maruna 5.
Maruna is when they Maruna is when they like pretend to be secular, but they're on a mission. Like Barack Obama. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, I mean, there is
allegedly.
There is video.
Allegedly.
Well, here's the thing. There is video evidence of Obama saying that he funded ISIL.
He slipped up in an interview, which I mean, everybody like in our circle probably has seen this clip. He was being interviewed by a journalist, and he slipped up in the interview, and he said, "My Muslim faith." And the journalist was even like, "You mean your Christian faith?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, my Christian faith. That's what I meant." Like, wait, what? You know, I mean, you got to be an idiot if you don't, like, think that was a little weird.
Yeah. See, here's how I view things. I talk to ex-Christians. If you ask an ex-Christian about the people in his faith, more than likely, unless he comes from an absolutely horrendous background, which a lot of times that's not the case, he'll say, they're nice people, I just don't agree with what they believe anymore. If you ask an ex-Muslim, it's a different story.
Right.
Ex-Muslim would be like, oh, it's absolutely horrendous. They're horrible individuals. They don't treat their people correctly at all. And it's completely different because more than likely you'll get the truth out of you'll get the truth out of a Christian. You won't get the truth out of a Muslim, because I don't like to lie to people. I try to do the best I can to tell the truth. A Muslim, they actually practice lying. That's one of the things that they're good at, is lying.
Yeah, they have 4 kinds of how to deceive people. Like I said, so they have Maruna is like pretending to be secular when you're not really. Then they have Kitman, Tauria, and Takia, and I forget what the other ones were. I think Takia is like outright lying, and I think Tauria might be lying by omission, or maybe that's Kitman. One of those 2 is lying by omission, and then the other one is another kind of lying, and I forget what the difference was and what the other one was. But I mean,
yeah, it's just amazing because I do believe a lot of
when you deal with people who are like from a Judeo-Christian perspective, it's like, you know, and you try to explain to these people, it's like they don't have the same values that we have. And it's funny, like, a lot of times when these people do something crazy, they'll be like, oh, well, that's their culture. And it's like, yeah, exactly. That's their culture.
That's the bad thing. It's their culture. See, like, what I find...
They're here now. They need to adopt our culture. You know, I mean...
Well, here's what I find... Here's what I find amazing.
Why America's going to shit, because people stopped holding immigrants to that standard. We let too many in at once, which the left was behind.
Well, here's what I find amazing, and I'm actually I'm pondering whether or not to do a response to this. left, like Riley Dennis, he did a video about being pro-choice for hijabs and how you should allow women to wear hijabs. Meanwhile, women in the Middle East are fighting to be able to remove their hijab. It's like, it's not a symbol of power. That's a symbol of oppression. And these feminists that are so hell-bent in defending Islam are using that symbol of oppression as a symbol of power. And it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. I don't get why. Like, for the most part, I don't care what a person believes. But if you're going to believe something that's fundamentally evil, then I have to fight you on that. I have to go against you on that, because that's just not okay with
Well, and it's not just that. I mean, you know, the comment that they always make is, well, it's their culture. And it's like, you know, once you come here, like, until recent years, until maybe like 10, 20 years ago, it was expected that if you came to the US, you were expected to assimilate. If people aren't assimilating, then they shouldn't be let in. And if they're illegals, you know, then they shouldn't be let in.
Almost definitely not. No, they shouldn't. I think that this whole they purposely are changing the wording of illegal immigrant to undocumented immigrant to make it sound less awful. And
well, yeah, and I actually did a video, a war on vocabulary. Stop calling them liberals, but I also covered that in my video.
Yeah.
Like, basically, stop calling them undocumented too. And call them either illegal aliens. I wouldn't even call them illegal immigrants. I would call them either illegal aliens or invaders.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Undocumented invaders. That's.
John Smith is saying that the left was in bed with radical Muslims in the 70s. Actually, John Smith, I did a video about the fact that the left and the commies are, like, the commies and the Muslims are in bed together. It's called the red-green axis of power. And the red is actually for, like, commie red, like better dead than red. And then green is for Islam. So you might want to check that out, because it sounds like you haven't seen that video.
I'm going to have to drop out now. I got to get some sleep before I go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired, so.
Yeah, I've noticed I've been drifting off enough. I haven't had a whole lot to say for my 20 minutes or so.
Well, we'll do this another time, so, yeah.
All right, y'all. See y'all later. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do you guys want to plug your channels one last time before I shut down the stream?
Yeah.
Sure. Let me
go first, because he wants to get off.
Sure, go.
Yeah, my channel's name is Nick's Radio. That's Nick like the name Nick. And like I said before, only stop by if you're looking to waste some time.
Sounds about right. My channel is good night. My channel name is Gabe the Samurai. I basically talk about whatever the heck is on my mind. I'm dropping the link into the chat box. And I'm just the type of person who likes to just talk about whatever. I make anti-SJW content, even though I don't align with the anti-SJWs. And I'm just me. And that's all I can ever be.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by my channel. I will see you all next time.
Bye.